Hello, we're going to look at Activity 5 in the Lab Aids unit called Soil Composition. This goes along very well with the reading that we've already done. It just backups and enforces those ideas. It says Chris knew that his class had watered the plants in the school garden and that they hadn't survived. He wondered if previous classes had watered their plants. Students in his class found a science notebook showing the watering schedule of two classes from the year before. They had watered the garden regularly, but the plants hadn't grown either. Chris thought there was enough air and sunlight in the garden. He decided it's time to find out more about the soil. So, what is the composition of soil? Okay. It says when reading, answer the stopping to think questions in your mind. They can help you find out whether you understand the main ideas. You'll see those here in a minute. You'll just answer those in your notebook. Weathered rocks and soil. All soil may seem alike, but soils in different places are different. One thing that all soils have in common is that they are mixtures of many things. Tiny pieces of rock are found in most soils. How do rocks become so tiny? Over time, rocks crack, crumble, and are broken apart by water and wind. Drops of water on a rock may repeatedly freeze and melt, causing the rock to crack. Water may react to some of the chemicals in a rock and cause part of the rock to wear away. Rocks sometimes fall from higher places, breaking as they fall and roll. All this wearing down of rocks by natural forces is called weathering. Stop to think question number 1. The paragraph above describes 3 examples of rock weathering. Think of another example. Need help? Consider the different ways that water moves over the surface of the earth. Scientists have names for the different sized rocks found in soil. Sand is the word used for the largest piece of rock in soil. Compared to rock, sand is still very small, with the largest piece being less than 1/5 of a centimeter. Individual pieces of sand or grains are easily visible, but they are not as big as small pebbles. There you go, 4 different kinds of sand showing a variety of grain sizes and composition. So all this is considered sand, and you can see different sizes and made up of different things. Pieces of rock that are smaller than sand are called silt and clay. Pieces of clay are so small they cannot be seen without a microscope. Pieces of silt are smaller than sand but bigger than clay. You can compare the relative sizes of these rock pieces in Figure 1, comparing rock pieces on the next page. Together, sand, silt, and clay are the main components of soil. Soil from different places contain different amounts of sand, silt, and clay. For example, the soil from a desert may have a lot of sand in it. Duh. Soil scientists often can tell which part of the world a soil sample is from, based on the amount and type of sand, silt, and clay in the sample. Stop to think question number 2. A student examines some soil. She notices a small rocky piece that measures 1 millimeter across. Is this particle likely to be a rock, sand, silt, or clay? How do you know? Use Figure 1 on the next page to help you decide. Here's Figure 1 here. Comparing particle sizes in soil. So you got sand, silt, and clay. Organic material in soil. Have you ever watched what happens to a very ripe piece of fruit that has been forgotten? It begins to change color, becomes soft, and starts to smell. It is decomposing or breaking down. If left outside on the ground, it will decay further until it is no longer recognizable as fruit. Soil contains a lot of decomposed material. Fruit may fall to the ground and decompose to the point that it becomes part of the soil. The same thing happens to animal waste and to dead plants and animals that are not eaten by other animals. Decomposing plants and animals, including insects, leaves, and flowers, contribute to the organic matter in soil. The word organic refers to material from living organisms. As time passes, bacteria and other microorganisms help break down organic material into smaller and smaller particles that may look like dark brown clumps in the soil. Eventually, organic matter breaks down into basic chemicals. These chemicals, called nutrients, can dissolve in water and be absorbed by plant roots. The word nutrient comes from the Latin root nutri, which means to feed. Plants use nutrients produced from decomposing organic matter to grow. Organic matter is an important part of soil. Here you see over here, bacteria, mold are decomposing these lemons. Stop to think. Question number 3. Why is it important for plants to grow in soil containing organic matter? That's important. That's an important one. We will definitely cover this again, so please note that this is an important concept here. Why is it important? There are many different amounts of organic matter in soil. In areas where many plants and animals live, grow, and die, there's more organic matter in the soil. Plants remove nutrients from the soil, but eventually they also give them back, as shown in Figure 2 below. When a plant dies, it may fall to the ground and decompose, adding to the organic matter and the amount of nutrients in the soil. The cycle of organisms living and dying helps enrich the soil with organic matter. Stop think. Question number 4. How can a dead plant help another plant live? Here you go. You see Figure 2, the cycle of nutrients. Soil layers. Topsoil is a soil in the uppermost layer of soil on the surface of the earth. It is the soil layer that you normally see, although it is only one of many layers. Each layer above bedrock has different characteristics. The different characteristics of each soil layer and bedrock are described below. Here we go, Figure 3. Characteristics of soil layers and bedrock. Topsoil is a combination of rock, sand, silt, and clay, organic matter, air, and water. Plant roots grow in this layer, which is rich with biological activity. Topsoil is about 20 centimeters deep, but it may be thinner or thicker depending on the location. Subsoil contains some of the chemicals found in the topsoil as water drips from the soil above and washes these nutrients down. There is not much organic material in this layer. Parent material is made up of slightly broken up bedrock. Plant roots usually do not penetrate into this layer. Very little organic matter is found here. And then here you have bedrock. Bedrock is the hard rock that lies beneath all the soil layers. So, A horizon, B horizon, C horizon. A, B, C. Okay, now it's time for the analysis questions. Go ahead and answer those in your notebook using your books. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.